Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about maintaining Jay's AAC device. As I mentioned before, Jay utilizes the Tobii C12 with a CI module. C12 with a CI module. And as far as software is concerned, we use the Tobii communicator. Actually, I guess it's Viking Software's communicator software that comes prepackaged with Tobii. That leads me to one of the headaches that I have with the AAC devices on the market today is how to manage and maintain page sets. Jay's at an age and at a communication level where I am constantly tweaking and making additions to Jay's page sets and additions to Jay's vocabulary and reacting to the fact that Jay wants to talk about various different things. So maintaining the page set is something that happens quite often. And the way it is today, sort of, if you can think about okay, my programming background is going to come out. But you think about the programming workflow. So the process you go through and how to make a change, make an edit, or make a creation of a new page on Jay's device, and I think it's on most devices, there's essentially two workflows. The first workflow starts with taking the device away from the child, booting up the communication software in sort of a design mode, going in and making changes on the device, flipping back into normal mode, making sure the page sets look right and work correctly, flipping back and forth between design and normal mode to make little tweaks until you're done, and then you can give the device back to the child to use, or the individual to use. Workflow number two is boot up the software on a second machine like a laptop, make your changes, make your additions, test it on your laptop for a little bit, get it the way you think it looks, take out your thumb drive, copy your changes onto that thumb drive, then go take the device away from the child, plug the thumb drive in, copy your changes off of your thumb drive locally, make sure everything looks good. If you have to make edits, then give it back to the child. Now, for me, the time I had to sit down and make edits to Jay's page sets tended to be times when Jay needed the device the most. So Jay would be in school, or Jay would be in speech therapy or at a communication playgroup. And that's when I sort of had downtime where I could make it. So I didn't want to send Jay to school without the Tobii. So I fell into that second workflow where I would do all the changes on my laptop and copy them over to Jay's device. And unfortunately, that step of copying it to a thumb drive and then copying it to Jay's device, it sounds relatively simple. But in the hecticness of day-to-day life, sometimes I'd have changes and I'd forget to do it that day. And then next thing you know, a week goes by and I haven't put changes on Jay's device. Or the other problem I'd run into is my laptop has a different screen setup. My laptop is more of a widescreen setup. So I would develop pages on my laptop. They'd look great, and then I'd transfer them over to Jay's device, and they wouldn't look all that well. Wouldn't look good because the buttons that I drew, instead of being, they'd have a different aspect ratio. So I'd have to, again, make edits and changes, and it started to get a little frustrating. So I needed a way to be able to just have pages sort of automatically sync between my laptop and Jay's device just by turning Jay's device on. And that way they'd automatically update. If I saw changes, I could go and make changes on my laptop, and they would just show up the next time Jay booted up the device. And I was sitting down about to write my own peer-to-peer file synchronization software when ATMOM reminded me that I was sort of reinventing the wheel when it came to services such as SkyDrive or Dropbox. And that's when a light went off. SkyDrive and Dropbox, and there are other cloud storage services out there, are designed around being able to store files out in the cloud on the internet and be able to access them from any machine. The nice thing I like about SkyDrive and Dropbox is they both have client applications for Windows that you can store locally, and the Tobii device is basically a Windows computer. It's running the Microsoft Windows operating system, and I run Windows on my laptop. So I can install the client on both Jay's Tobii and my laptop, and that client for both SkyDrive and Dropbox will synchronize a local folder with what is out on the internet automatically, as long as you have internet access. So what that resulted in is I created a Dropbox account. I already had a SkyDrive account that had a lot of stuff in it, and I didn't want to sort of tease through all that stuff, so I created a new Dropbox account. And the other thing I like about SkyDrive and Dropbox, by the way, is they're both free. The client software is free, so it helps. It helps that it's free. I created a Dropbox account. I then set up Jay's Tobii. Has settings in there, so when you can tell it to look in a different directory for custom page sets. So instead of the default directory, I had it look at the Dropbox directory. On my laptop, I then would edit the page set create and edit page sets in that Dropbox account, and that means the next time I turn on Jay's device and it's got internet access, it syncs, and all changes come down. And if changes don't look right, I just run to the other room, fire up my laptop, make the edits, save them. It goes up to Dropbox, and then here at home, Jay has internet access with the Tobii. Those changes sync down, within a minute or two, and then I can check to see if those changes work. And it's a good use of the cloud technology, I think, to just make managing Jay's AAC pages simpler. So, in case you're curious as to how that happens, I'm going to go ahead and take the second part of this video, and I want to walk you through on my laptop using some screen capture software. I want to walk you through how I set that up so that so you can do that at your home. And let's go do that now.